till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, it get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since. All the dominance of one west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupons for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper, been as proper since a teeny bopper. But now I'm going, I'm off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they heat's on, none of them can get to the fire. Around with me, and I had a nigga spin like a tire. Down the deep, and I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel to ignite, I'm winning, coming through with the title because UPK. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground. Nah, this ain't no movement, this a takedown.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my house. Yes, you said, Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, save facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Myself on a cool damn night. Gave myself an
Pando killed the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks and native Hispanics. The Germans getting locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died, y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun die or die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on the yarmulke. We was slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, this the Feast of Purim. UPK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, this what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth, niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4, I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Wednesday night history class. Also, remember, check out Commanding Johnny Yohanna's radio show, which is Monday, 2 a.m. UK time. There's also one on Wednesday, 2 a.m. UK time. We have classes here Monday through Friday. We have them live in the physical school, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. till 9. We have them online Tuesday and Friday. We also have Under Ends on Friday this week. This Friday, Under Ends, there's a guest, so it'll be live at 7 p.m. this Friday instead of 9. So Under Ends will be live 7 p.m. this Friday. We also have camp this Saturday in Leicester. We also have a class this Saturday in Leicester also. So we've got a jam-packed schedule. So yeah, we've got a jam-packed schedule. Bear with me. So also we've got the next feast day coming up. I'll get the date in a minute. But we've got the next feast day, which will be closing of the Feast of First Fruits. So yeah, we've got a ton of things going on in the school right now. So on Monday you have the law class, Tuesday the brotherhood class, Wednesday the history class, Thursday the scripture breakdown, Friday the Lashu and Kodash and Under Ends, Saturday Sabbath service camp and the next class, and then Sunday real-time revelations. So we've got a full functioning schedule, So just get involved. Contact the school 079 7864, I believe. Contact the school. Make your election sure. Come in here and learn how to serve the Lord, man. Come in here and learn all of those things. Learn how to serve the Lord. Any questions you got? Ask your questions. Whatever questions you got, on topic, off topic, history, scripture, any question in life you got, you can ask them. I got my brother Ben Yamia with me. about to go into some history, like we do every week. So lucky. Go ahead, man, young man.
Shalom, sir. Yahweh Shai Barakatha.
Well, so now we're about
55.
to hear about evolution, the earth and fossils, and then while it is with that person, you have to disregard a lot of these dates they use, because a lot of these dates they use is crazy and it's not even accurate. The dates they use is subject to change. So when you start seeing things about 55 million years ago, 300 billion years ago, all of those things, you have to disregard a lot of the dates that they have, because they do these things when they use radiocarbon data and date things by unit 14 and certain things. Some dating program they use only goes back to 50,000 years. According to what they say, this can only trace back to 50,000 years. So then they would hold on. Yeah, so what they would do, they would use fossils. So that's what they do. They look at fossils and look at how deep the fossils eroded and so forth. And then by that, they'll be like, all right, then, well, we can estimate this date. So they will use those fossils, and then the oldest fossils they find, they will then come back and tell you, oh, life started here because this is the oldest fossils we found. And then you'll find that in about 10 years, 20 years, they find the older fossil than that. So then they'll be like, oh, maybe life started here because there's an older fossil. So that's how they do it. So a lot of the stuff to do, it's not even accurate because it's subject to change. And this is what they say, well, we didn't have the knowledge at that time, but now we have the knowledge, we're going to go by this. So there's a man that's in his grave somewhere, believing something else because of the fossils that they had at the time and the dates. And then now they claim that they've done more research and they've found more things and science is better. Now they changed certain things like, oh, no, this fossil predates that one. No, this fossil's older than that one. So yeah, you have these people that look for fossils and then they get dates off the fossils and the dates ain't 100% accurate. So now they could give you a date that's not even accurate. But that's a little bit about what we're trying to go into today. So today we're going to try go into Homo sapiens and so forth, because they tell you that man evolved from monkeys, and they say that we're related to chimpanzees. They say that our DNA is 98.9% of a match to a chimpanzee. And they say, but once upon a time, those people had smaller brains and they never used to use their hands. And then over time, they started using their hands more, and that's why we use our hands today. So they will tell you that man evolved from that state. So they believe in this thing called evolution. They'll tell you that man evolved. They'll tell you that a whale started off as a land mammal, and then over time they started playing in water. And then each time they went deeper into water, and then they turned into full-on whales to where they live in water now. So they'll tell you all of those kind of things. They'll tell you all of those kind of things. So we're going to go into some history, and then we're going to see. So you go ahead, Benjamin.
Canada on cancer. 55 million years ago,
Hey,
small
Benjamin,
mammal.
That's lucky. Go ahead.
55 million years ago, a small mammal the size of a cat evolved to periodically spend time in the water and
So
even submerge itself.
So back then as well, they tell you that a lot of these animals were smaller. They tell you that a lot of these land mammals was a lot smaller. They tell you that one stage a horse was the size of a cat and so forth. So they tell you all of those kind of things. Go ahead.
This mammal was the ancestor of hippos and whales.
So now they tell you that this mammal was the ancestor of hippos and whales. So now, with what they're talking about evolution, they're saying a small mammal the size of a cat evolved. So at first, this animal lived on land, and then they're saying that this spent so much time in water, it turned into a whale. And where did they get this theory from? They will tell you that they found fossils, but the original ones extinct now. So they'll tell you that they found fossils. And you do know people come up with fake fossils all the time to make up things existed that actually didn't exist. So they come up with a ton of fake fossils, and you ain't a scientist, so then you end up believing a lot of what they say. So you start thinking, wow, 55 million years ago, that's what they start teaching you, years that go way back. So okay, go ahead.
The ancestors of whales began to spend more and more time in the oceans.
But now they're saying the ancestors of whales, it was a land animal that was the size of a cat. So before there was ever any such thing as a whale, they're telling you there was a land animal that was the size of a cat. Now, when you look at creation, the Lord separated things into sections. So He separated things that lives in the waters, things that lives on land, things that is in the air. So there's like 3 categories. So what they're basically trying to say is it started off as a land animal, and over time it became a water animal, but they call it an aquatic animal, but the Bible don't say that. So what they can't explain, they always try and make an excuse for certain things. But it's lucky, go ahead.
No one can, sir. First in shallow waters, later being able to dive deeper and eat scores.
So now they're saying this is how it evolved, because first it was on land, and then it started to go into shallow waters. So shallow waters is like, shallow waters, that's not deep. Then over time they started to go into deeper water, and then they evolved from a land mammal to a water animal. Hey, Ira, Shalom, Lord Christ. But it's lucky, go ahead.
Later being able to dive deeper and eat scores and scores of krill and fish. By 40 million years ago, their transformation into whales was complete.
So now they're saying 40 million years ago. So they're saying it took them like what? 15 million years to go from a land animal to a whale. So that's what they're saying now. So they're saying at first this was a land animal that dwelt in water, that dwelt on land, started to go into water, and it became a whale. Go ahead.
Also, 55 million years ago, the ancestor of the horse, multitude and around the size of a dog, dwelt in the forests. It crept quietly and nimbly among the trees and the bush on the forest floor. Once the climate cooled.
So now they're saying that a horse started off the size of a dog, but I want to go back to the whales, the whales. So now let me get Genesis chapter 1 and verse 21. So we're going to go into what the Bible says. So we're going to go in the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 21.
No, I sir. Book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 21. And God created great whales.
And God created what?
Great whales.
Listen, man. Them land mammals were separate from whales, man.
That's
the Lord
right.
created animals that dwell on the land, and the Lord created whales that dwell in the water, man, that live in the oceans. So with what they're saying, they're getting things a little mixed up. That's lucky. Go ahead.
And every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly, and their kind.
And everything that listen, everything that the Lord created, you can find history of a lot of these animals in Genesis, and you can find out where they would live. You can find out about land animals, find out about water animals, you find out about all those things. Go ahead.
And every winged fowl after his kind, and God saw that it was good.
And now the Lord's creation was good, man. Listen, these are talking about it evolved from land animals. So you mean to tell me during this evolution, there's not one of them left? Like there's not one of them left. So they're saying, oh yeah, we found old fossils, and these fossils linked to the hippos and the whales and so forth. They're saying this is an ancestor of a whale and a hippo. That's what they're saying. That's lucky. Go ahead.
That's it on Genesis 1, sir.
Yeah. Take me back to the PowerPoint.
Got it on, sir. Once the climate cooled and dried, that's it on that slide. These creatures began running increasingly on the dominant third toe.
So now they said once the land dried, they started to run a certain way. So now they say this is how horses got their hoofed foot. So now these scientists, I think they call them geologists or whatever, they will start looking at the earth and looking at animals and telling you now how they advance and how they evolve. Can animals evolve to some degree? Yes, they can. I mean, can humans evolve? Not how they tell you they evolve. I mean, one day you can be doing one thing and you can do better. That's a form of evolution. But they make out like everything about you changes. They make out like one day you was a monkey, now you're not a monkey no more. That's not what happened, man. That ain't what happened. Now, what do we evolve in? We evolve in things like one day we're working with stone, then we upgrade to bronze, then we upgrade to metal, then we upgrade to steel and so forth. That's how we evolve and become better. They make out like one day you was a homo, not even a homo sapien, what's the some before that, I can't remember the name of it. You was a Neanderthal, and then over time, the Neanderthals and the Homo sapiens mixed together, and now we have humans. This this is what they teach. When in fact that's not true. Now, all of us are humans, and it's just that the oppressor is the devil. So now he makes it like Neanderthals don't exist because he knows he was living that kind of life, eating lice and living like a caveman. So now, once they're ashamed of their history, they tell you certain things don't exist. Now, because they was living terribly and not showering and not cleaning themselves, they make out like the white people that was doing that back then are extinct now. When really, they're still here, they've just blended in and washed a little bit more than they did back then. That's what it is.
Over time, the other toes receded significantly, giving horses their characteristic hooves. They no longer crept through the forest but traveled vast distances.
So now they will tell you that's why the horses hoofs like that. They say that over time, the landmass changed, and then they started to walk that way on their third toe. So they tell you their feet's that way for that reason. And they tell you that a horse was significantly tiny back then, 30 centimeters max, that's what they say. So like you go ahead.
In a relatively short amount of time, a few dozen million years, mammals rapidly filled environment niche.
So now back then they're saying there weren't a lot of mammals, and then over time with evolution and the landmass is changing, then more mammals started to come into place. Then they started to put on size because they said the ancestor of a hippo was the size of a cat. So now they're saying from a cat you get something which is the size of a hippo. I doubt it. I think a hippo is just a hippo and a cat's just a cat. Yes, lucky, go ahead.
A few dozen million years, mammals rapidly filled environmental niches and grew from tiny sizes to form the bulk of the world's megafauna and the building blocks for the familiar species we know today.
Now can animals get big over time? Yes, they can. I mean, how do we know? Because once upon a time, well, not everybody, but there's been times in the earth where generations have been shorter than previous generations. Like if you go back, a lot of people was shorter than previous generations, whereas now people, tend to be taller. People tend to be more obese nowadays than back in the days. So can people's size change over time? Yes, it can. But these make out like something that was a kitten before is a hippo now. No, you ain't gonna get that drastic change. And this is what they tell you. They tell you it was 55 million years ago. They tell you it takes millions of years to evolve. The reason they tell you it takes millions of years to evolve because they know you won't see it in your lifetime. So that's why they tell you that, man, because they know if you barely live 100 years, if you barely live for 100 years, then you ain't seeing something evolve which is going to take 50 million years. So they give crazy dates. So when you ask questions, so why not I see things evolve now? They say, oh, it takes millions of years to evolve. And that's the answer. So that's the answer they will give you. It takes millions of years to evolve because they know nobody lives for a million years to see it. So they come up with these crazy numbers. That's lucky for it.
55 million years ago was also when the primates emerged.
So now, they're saying that now the primates emerged 55 million years ago. So now they say that what? We come from primates and so forth. They'll give you that nonsense that, you know, we came from, they'll say that an ancestor of the chimpanzees and gorillas, and we share an ancestor with chimpanzees. That's what they'll tell you, that we share an ancestor. Go ahead.
They began as small tree-dwelling mammals with grasping hands and front-facing eyes. These traits were particularly useful to avoid tumbling from trees.
So now they give you them traits, and they come up with these fossils, and you don't even know if these fossils are real. You don't even know if these fossils have been placed there, so they can come up with a narrative to get you not to believe in God. That's all. Listen, you can't ever trust the devil, man. Imagine this: they found fossils. Now they're trying to tell you what the animal was doing. How would they know based off the fossils, man? You don't know what the animal was doing based off the fossils. Go ahead.
The front-facing eyes, for instance, permitted primates stereoscopic vision and depth perception, which is particularly crucial when judging a leap from one branch to another. In order to process all that 3D information, primates required increasingly larger brains.
So that's why they will tell you primates have larger brains, because they need to process a lot of these things. That's something that they've come up with on their own. So they'll tell you that's why primates got larger brains. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Primates colonized the Americas.
So now they're saying primates colonized the Americas, and according to my research, Benjamin, the white man colonized the Americas. Now they're trying to blame it on the primates. Now they're trying to say the primates colonized the Americas. I thought it was Christopher Columbus and them. Now he looks like a primate, so that's probably why. If they said a man that looks like a primate colonized the Americas, then I'll be like, okay, I can understand that. But they're saying primates colonized the Americas. So lucky, go ahead.
Canada and separated by the vast Atlantic 40 million years ago.
So now they're again 40 million years ago. Go ahead.
They continued to evolve there into the New World monkeys.
So now they said these primates that had big eyes and used to swing from trees and whatnot, they said they evolved into the New World monkeys. So now the New World monkeys that we have today, they're saying that they evolved from what we just read prior. That's lucky. Go ahead.
They had flatter noses and side-facing nostrils.
So now they said the older ones had flat faces and side-facing nostrils. Go ahead.
Longer tails useful for grasping things, and most species do not have opposable thumbs. New World monkeys were also more likely to observe monogamous relationships.
Now they're talking about the monkeys are monogamous. The reason they're talking about them being monogamous is why? Is because they want us to be monogamous, man. That's what they want. They're trying to make a man monogamous, so now they're trying to say, yeah, the original primates was monogamous. But I ain't seen it yet, so you go ahead.
Conversely, in most species of old world monkeys, polygamous relationships were most common.
See, so now even they understood the old world monkeys, polygamous relationships was most common. So what they're trying to say is even the animals understand polygamy, man. Even the primates understand polygamy. They said the New World monkeys are more likely to be monogamous, and they're trying to do that with us. Men back then understood polygamy, and now they're trying to make New World men monogamous. So the same way they're running the same game on these primates, it's the same way they're trying to run the same game on us. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Females of most species stayed with their mothers for life, while the males grew up and found their own harem of females.
The males grew up and found their own females, man. Listen, man. That's what we do. So lucky. Go ahead.
Chasing off all other males in extremely aggressive displays. In Africa, 25 to 30 million years ago, the line of the great apes diverged.
So now they're trying to say apes also come from chimpanzees. A chimpanzee looking mammal. They're trying to say that. I'm sure they say that's the father of the apes, and they say that we're closely related. We like cousins. This is what they say. We like cousins to chimpanzees. This is what they like to teach. Yes, Lucky, go ahead.
From the old world monkeys, the great apes were the ancestral species of the chimpanzees, bonobos, gorillas, orangutans, and humans.
See, read that one more time.
Great apes were the ancestral species of the chimpanzees.
Says great apes were the ancestral species. Go ahead.
Of chimpanzees, bonobos, gorillas, orangutans, and
humans. So now they're saying that we come from monkeys. That's what they're basically saying. Now they're saying that we come from monkeys, and now they're saying that one day we was monkeys. So those ugly things that was. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up a picture of how one would have looked. Bear with me, let me see if I can pull up a picture. Hold on, bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to find a good one. None of these are giving me a good one. Hold on, bear with me. Let me try to find one. You know what? I might have to show this one just so you see like a little visual. So this is what they're saying right here. We got a primate ancestor. So they say this is our ancestor, and the modern human comes from this, and the chimpanzee also comes from this. So they say we're closely related to a chimpanzee. This is what they tell you. And to me, Benjamin, the primate ancestor and the chimpanzee look the same to me.
That's right.
They look alike to me. We don't look nothing like that. So they'll tell you that man started off like that, and then one day he started to stand up a little bit more and stand up a little bit more, and then he used to walk on all fours, and then he started walking on twos. So that's the nonsense they want us to believe. But so lucky, go back to that slide from before, Michelle.
Another one, Cancer. Great apes were the ancestral species of chimpanzees, bonobos, gorillas, orangutans, and humans. Within primates.
Now they're saying that they're saying we come from chimpanzees and orangutans and whatnot. So lucky, go ahead.
Within primates are instinctual traits that humans retained or discarded. Figuring out the ones.
So now they're saying that what we have similar traits to these animals. So this is the nonsense that they're coming up with. Yes, lucky, go ahead.
Within primates are instinctual traits that humans retained or discarded. Figuring out the ones we retained can tell us a lot about what lies at the core of our own evolutionary wiring, which underlies many, if not all, of our actions and how we build our societies.
So now they're saying we build our societies based off how animals build theirs. And even if we did do that, that doesn't make us related, man. That right there doesn't make someone related because you do similar things. Go ahead.
Guerrilla warfare. Humans split off from the evolutionary ancestors of gorillas about 10 to 12 million years ago. While gorillas may look threatening, most gorilla...
So now we split off from the evolutionary ancestors of gorillas like 12 million years ago. So one day we was, gorillas, and then over time we evolved, and there was a split between us and them, and we became humans, and they stayed gorillas. Honestly, it makes no sense. And to cover it up, to say, technically, the gorillas and you both came from the common ancestor. So they will say that we didn't come directly from gorillas. They say we came from the common ancestor millions of years ago. That's what they'll tell you. Go ahead.
While gorillas may look threatening, most gorilla aggression comes in the form of intimidation and displays, though they can make a very good job of defending themselves if mere threat doesn't cover it. By and large, it is warfare by bravado. Gorilla hierarchies typically have female gorillas stay within the same group for life, while male gorillas are driven out by the leader of the group, the silverback, when they come of age.
Knows how gorillas operate. Go ahead.
When they come of age, to wander as bachelors until they can construct female populated groups of their own or supplant an existing silverback of another group.
So now they're letting you know that gorillas are territorial. They go there and they want to take over the spot and whatnot. That's not even just the gorilla thing. That's just a man thing. Every man wants to be, the big man in a place. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The same gorillas do the same thing. I don't see the problem. Every animal does the same thing. Lions do the same thing. They all do it. Go ahead.
Male competition led to a high degree of sexual dimorphism, an evolutionary process where notable sexual differences gradually appear between biological sexes, with male gorillas being significantly larger.
Because of this is why male gorillas are larger than female gorillas. When no, the Lord just made the males larger than the females. That's it. Yeah, I mean, it don't just happen with gorillas. If you look at a female Rottweiler and a male Rottweiler, the male Rottweiler grows bigger. Now, if you look at men and women, typically men grow bigger. It's just the way the Lord made us. Like you go ahead.
Gradually appear between biological sexes, with male gorillas being significantly larger on average than the females. Male gorillas also tend to kill infants that they did not sire.
Yeah, but most animals do that. If it's not their child, they don't want it around, because now they know that child might grow up one day and overthrow them, and they know it's not of their seed. Go ahead.
In order to increase the chances that their own DNA will become dominant instead. Female gorillas make sure to form relationships with males to gain protection from these predators.
So now these is like a few things where they're trying to say it's similar to humans because they do those things. Nope, it's just natural that a male is going to be stronger than a female, and a male is going to be in charge. Even in the animal kingdom, they understand that. Everybody understands that word.
Not to mention the protection of their young from infanticide. Females, which are kith and kin, tend to stick together in sisterhood, being very supportive of each other's interests and safety. Female gorillas, which are not related, tend to compete aggressively. Male gorillas are more likely to be hostile to each other, even when they are related. Competition and hostility are more common, with one notable exception. When male gorillas have been booted by a silverback from a female populated group, they sometimes band together rather than roaming around solo. And when in exile, they are much friendlier to one another, even engaging in mutual grooming and friendly wrestling. Some gorillas even eschew the harem completely and engage in the occasional bout of gay sex.
Listen, that person is the devil. He's trying to say gorillas engage in gay sex. So he's trying to say the only way a gorilla would engage in that is if this person has some influence in it. He says to do this when they're in exile, and when they're in exile, they're in exile when you got them in the zoo, man. When you got them in the zoo, they're exiled from how gorillas usually act. They're exiled from how gorillas are usually raised. So now they're going to do what? Stuff that they wouldn't usually do. And the oppressor forces them to do those kind of things. You go to the wild, gorillas don't behave like that. They said gorillas are known to be friendlier when they're in exile. And when you go to the zoo, all them animals are friendly, man. These like inject them with all kinds of stuff, mess up their hormones, and all kinds of stuff. They do all these experiments on them. They tame them and do all these kind of experiments. And now they're trying to say these gorillas engage in occasional bouts of gay sex. I highly doubt it, man. The only ones that do that is ones that have been around the oppressor. That's lucky. Go ahead, Benjamin.
Our closest cousins, chimpanzees, are our closest surviving evolutionary cousins.
Oh, they say chimpanzees is our cousins, man. That's what they're saying right here. That we're related to chimpanzees. Chimpanzees is our closest cousin. Listen, we ain't related to no damn chimpanzee, man.
That's right.
That's disrespectful, man. We ain't related to no chimpanzees. Chimpanzees is land mammals. Humans, man, we ain't related to them. That's lucky. Go ahead.
We share 98.4% of our DNA with them. We split off from chimps through
So now it says, read that part one more time.
We share 98.4% of our DNA with them.
We share 90%. How much percent do we share with them?
98.4% of our DNA.
98.4%. So they say we're cousins with chimpanzees because we share 98%. And they've done their studies and they've come up with 98%. So Benjamin, why do we share 98%? Why do we share 98% of our DNA with chimpanzees?
So like yes, sir, I would say because we because I mean they have blood, heart, they got organs similar to us. That's it.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So now, when you look at biology and all living organisms, we're all built on the same fundamentals. That's what it is, man. We're all built on the same DNA codes. Now we all got protein. We all got blood. We all got iron. All of these things, they're just built on the same things that we all built on. Now we're all built with the same, some similar type of DNA structure. That's what we all built with. Now they took that and said, see, oh, they must be related. Nah, man, listen. Once you read the Bible, and the Bible says the Lord created man and beast from the earth. I mean, what you find in the soil and in the earth is going to be the same thing you find in these land animals and the same thing you find in us because they're all coming from the earth. That's all it is. It don't mean they're related. It just means the same DNA structure and the same things, the same build up and whatnot. It don't mean they're the same, man. Listen, it's like me having a car and a motorbike. Now with my car has metal. It has a fuel system. It has brakes. If I create a bike, Benjamin, it has the same things, man. It has fuel. Now, does it mean the car and the bike's the same? No. But a lot of the fundamentals that I put into the bike, I also put into the car. It don't mean the car and the bike's related. So that's all it means. But they will tell you you relate to a chimpanzee because you got the same build-up. Whereas we don't, man. We ain't related. So what if you got similar DNA strands and whatnot, same chemical build-up or whatnot? That don't make us related. So lucky, go ahead.
So lucky, sir. So for me, sir, I think we're 60% related to chicken. 60% of the DNA.
Listen, man, I eat so much chicken. I'm 100% related to chickens. Listen, I eat so much chicken. Yeah, listen, I'm about to evolve into one in the next million years, according to evolution, man. Listen, I eat so much chicken. I'm gonna evolve into one according to the nonsense that these lot talk. I'm surprised I ain't evolved into one. I'm surprised I ain't evolved into one yet. These are what I used to take 55 million years. All of this nonsense. Yes, lucky. Go ahead.
Sir. We split off from chimps through a last common ancestor about 5 to 7.
So now, 5 to 7 million years ago, we split off from chimps. So now, we have a common ancestor, and we came from that common ancestor, and the chimpanzees came from that common ancestor, and we split off from that common ancestor about 5 to 7 million years ago. That's what I'm saying. Yes, let's go ahead.
Chimps are smaller than humans, about 100 to 120 centimeters in height, but they are typically much stronger and more aggressive. Chimps have a brain that is 3 times smaller than a human's. Nevertheless, we can see a lot of similar instincts and behaviors in them.
So now, in one breath they're saying they're different, then in the next breath they're saying we're similar. Even they said, yo, the difference in stature, difference size brain, but they're trying to say we have a common ancestor, and they're just doing that because they don't want to acknowledge that we came from God. So they want to say there's nothing there, and two things banged together and created a world which is so perfect. That don't make no. Listen, if two things did bang together, it wouldn't create something so perfect. God could have only created this, man. Why do you think the earth and the world and how we use it is so perfect? Like the Lord made it where a man has organs, where you eat food and it goes down there and goes in there and then comes out. That's too perfect for a Big Bang to create it, man. The Lord created, you got hands to pick things up. But now this is what they tell you, so this is what they tell you. They can't tell you that there's a Big Bang and you was a human straight away. They have to teach you about evolution, that the world was full of just dead plants in the beginning and ice everywhere, and then the ice melted away and this mass migration and all of these things. They'll start telling you about then the fossils grew here and the tectonic plates split here. They'll give you a ton of stuff to take away from God. That's lucky. Go ahead.
And more aggressive. Chimps have a brain that is 3 times smaller than humans. Nevertheless, we can see a lot of similar instincts and behaviors in them, not to mention inventiveness, genius, and group politics. Chimps eat plants and insects, and not infrequently they are sighted hunting colobus monkeys. Males go around in packs and gain access to this food and to protect their territory from other groups of chimps. It is likely that territoriality is a trait passed down from our last common ancestors with chimps.
The reason why we're territorial is because that trait was passed down from our ancestors. And listen, we just want to protect our loved ones, man. We're territorial. Why? Because we want to protect what's ours. It's natural. Now they're saying that we only do that because that trait was passed down from our common ancestor, which would have been another form of a chimp. So lucky, go ahead.
But that sort of behavior is hardly unusual in animals. What is novel is the organized way chimps do this. Unlike gorillas, it is entirely common practice for chimp groups to be in composed of a collection of males with a leader and a corresponding group of females, which also arrange themselves in a hierarchy. The leader of a chimp group can be the strongest and most aggressive, but not always. The chief must also be the most manipulative and savvy at maintaining alliances to support his rule. A chimp Machiavelli. As a result, it is sometimes the case that the leader is not the biggest bruiser per se, but a learner, weaker politician who has managed to convince others to do his bidding.
So now they're talking about what chimps do. So now saying what chimps do is what humans usually do. So now they're trying to, all of this, basically they're trying to say, because they do that, it was passed down from our common ancestor. So you have things in common with a chimpanzee because you do similar things to them. You got similar traits. Go ahead.
Other males have been known to team up with and launch a violent revolution that overthrows and replaces the leader. This looks decidedly more like human politics. Females have their own firm pecking order. Some dominate, others submit to other females. The female dominance hierarchy also extends to offspring. Aggression towards a high-ranking daughter, even while she is young and weak, is punished by the dominant mother and her allies. The daughter is thus protected until she reaches the point where she can start forming dominance alliances of her own. There is a whisper of the hierarchy, a whisper of the hereditary principle in this behavior, where one can gain additional privileges in a hierarchy because of who your parents are. Meanwhile, chimp male dominance is entirely dependent on acceptance by the hierarchy of females. If they don't like you,
so now female dominance comes from basically how much women you got. That's what I'm saying. The dominance comes from how much women like you and whatnot in the chimp world. Go ahead.
If they don't like you, you cannot be the group's leader.
So they're saying if women don't like you, you can't be the group's leader. So they're saying shit that happens in today's times. So they're trying to associate us with chimps that, yo, you're both related because you got similar traits. Go ahead.
If you are already a leader and females turn against you, they will help to overthrow you and put a new male in your place.
Listen, man. That right there sounds like what some women will actually do to a man, Benjamin. Shit.
That's right.
Listen, man. Them chimps ain't far off. Sounds like how them chimps are behaving. Some women will do that. They'll overthrow you and put another man in your place, man. Shit. Them chimps be doing what some of these women be doing to brothers, man. Now the only woman that will do that is one without the laws of God. One without the laws of God will do that. A woman that follows the laws of God, she ain't gonna overthrow you and do that. So lucky, go ahead.
So like I say, for me, those female chimps were like Beyonce. They could have another chimp in a minute. So, if I may, if they don't like you, you cannot be the group's leader. If you are already the leader and females turn against you, they will help to overthrow you and put a new male in your place.
Imagine that, they'll overthrow you and put a new male in your place, man. Listen, imagine basically that's like a chimp leaving a man for another man. Listen, man, that's listen, because you sisters don't want to do the right thing. Now, when they're trying to claim that we come from chimps and they're trying to find similarities, because you don't want to serve God and you want to overthrow your man and put a next man there, you give them this similarity. You give them this similarity because of your behavior, man. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Even this has echoes of the soft power held by elite women such as Roman Empress Livia Drusilla in human history before modernity.
Hold on.
If you
I'm trying to see. Yeah. Because now this is where they kind of say that chimps had language and how we got language. So they're gonna tell you that we never used to speak much. We used to groan, and then over time we started to talk, and then that's how we came up with language. That's lucky word.
If you are higher up in the hierarchy, you get priority access to mates and food. Chimpanzee hierarchies are noticeably complex relative to these of other primates, and a larger brain was required by evolution to cope.
So now they're trying to go over the whole thing. Now they're trying to say, once upon a time, the people had small brains because they didn't communicate and whatnot. So now they're trying to justify why we have a bigger brain than certain things. So now they're going to say we have a bigger brain. Why? Because we communicate. So now they say what the reason why we can communicate now and do certain things now is because over time our brain grew larger. But the reason we couldn't do it back then is because we had smaller brains. So they say with evolution, us coming from chimps, we've evolved. And with this evolution, we got a bigger brain, and that's why we're able to learn certain things and do certain things that we couldn't before. So that's how they explain evolution. At first, we didn't know nothing. Over time, we evolved. We knew a little bit, then we knew more, then we knew more. That's how they explain us evolving. So, lucky, go ahead.
Larger brain was required by evolution to cope with all the social interactions necessary to maintain alliances.
So they say even some of the animals' brains became larger to evolve. And they'll tell you that first we had a small brain, and over time our brain evolved.
Like many primates, chimps use tools. They fashion sticks to fish termites out of the ground for food. They use rocks as hammers.
So now they're trying to say that we used to do this before we started using tools. We would use a rock as a hammer, and we'll do all of these things that these animals are doing. Because they're saying that we originally was animals and came from them, and that's what we would do before we got a larger brain and started to make tools. So now everything that we do today, they're trying to find ways how primates do it. So they're saying they use a rock as a hammer, and over time man became smart and evolved and made the hammer, so he didn't need to use a rock no more. So that's what Dave says. So go ahead.
They use leaves as sponges to soak up water.
See?
They use,
and now how we use sponges, they say we used to use leaves to soak up water. Go ahead.
They use branches as levers, and they even fashion banana leaf umbrellas. These techniques are taught passing from adult to child. This counts as a form of social learning, even a form of culture. They do not, however, build on these inventions generations after generation. Otherwise, over 5 million years, chimp termite fishing would doubtless have reached an industrial scale. Chimps have language. Most chimp communication is carried out by gesture.
So now they say chimps used to communicate by gesture, and they say that's how we used to communicate by gestures. So a man would grunt or point or whatever, or face. And now they say we pull facial expressions because they say facial expressions back then when people couldn't talk, people knew what they wanted by their gestures of their facial expressions and whatnot. Go ahead.
Chimps have, most chimp communication is carried out by gesture, but they do have a limited range of vocalization. The limit is imposed by the chimp's physiology, restricting the range of noises they can make and also their brain capacity.
So now they say they can't do certain things because of their brain capacity. So they basically say that we're them with more brain capacity. So what basically they're saying we got a common ancestor, which was a chimp, and we're that chimp with more brain capacity, and the chimpanzees don't have the brain capacity, but overall we are chimpanzee with more brain capacity. That's what they're basically saying. So go ahead.
In captivity, chimps have shown a remarkable aptitude for memorizing a wide range of written symbols. Chimpanzees can also be highly violent, male chimpanzees band together, roam their territory, and see if they can find a lone chimp to beat up.
So now they're saying that the way how chimps do it is how we do it, whereas according to the laws of God, we ain't supposed to be circling trying to beat up our brothers, man. We ain't supposed to be circling trying to beat up our brothers. So now, because of our behavior, because we behave like animals, so when people say we behave like animals, to some degree, this is what they're talking about. These chimps would beat up a lone chimp. And if you're trying to do that, you're behaving like these chimps that they're trying to say we come from. And really, we know we don't come from them. Well, that's lucky. Go ahead.
They set about kicking and hitting the lone chimp. It is common practice for chimps to start tearing off bits of flesh, particularly the ears, bits of the face, and most shockingly, the genitalia. Warfare among chimpanzees is not a thing. They don't have the numbers or the coordination, but they are perfectly happy to patrol their territory and brutalize strangers. Coordinated violence on outgroup individuals certainly is a trait held in common with humans.
See? And now they say coordinated violence is a trait held in common with humans. And this is why we need to keep the laws of God and serve the Lord so they can remove this so-called common trait. Imagine Banyamin, all these common traits that they're finding is traits that the Lord tells us that we're not supposed to have anyway. So we need to serve God so they can remove these traits, man. These traits should only be for everybody that's not Israelite, not us. Ariel said, Salaki say, who's the day that you're talking about? The scientists that come up with all this research. So the scientists that come up with all this research, or your atheists. There's a lot of these people that come up with these things is atheists. So they try and explain evolution to you so they don't have to teach that there's a God. So they don't believe there's a God. So if you don't believe there's a God, this is what you do. You just make out like evolution's the way. And in that way, you can live any sinful, disgusting lifestyle you want to live. Because now if there's no God, then you're not held to no standard because we're animals. I mean, we do come from chimpanzees, so why be moral? That's what they want you to think. They want you to think, well, you know, we do come from chimpanzees, so why be moral? So go ahead.
Bonobos. Chimpanzees are male-led and quite aggressive because sex is distributed according to hierarchy. In dramatic contrast, their close cousin and ours,
see?
The bonobo.
So now, saying us and chimpanzees are close cousins. Go ahead.
The bonobo. Approximately 2 million years ago, two groups of ancestral chimpanzees were separated into different environments by a growing Congo River. The chimps to the south, which became bonobos, evolved radically different habits. Bonobos live in a female-led hierarchy where sexual activity is, couldn't see that word, is rife. Right. Males are often physically stronger, but on the very rare occasion where a male shows aggression towards a female, a sisterhood of bonobos gang up on him and put a stop to it. Sometimes they scare him off with hoots and shouting.
So they're saying all this to say, yeah, they got similar traits to us, but us, lucky, go ahead.
Sometimes they break his fingers. Females can also be violent towards each other when enforcing the hierarchy. But overall, violence is a lot less due to the profusion of sex.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to skip this slide. Yeah, let me get this.
But what is open to question is how many of the familiar chimpanzees traits humans inherited from their last common ancestor and which ones were culturally invented by humans much later. If the more negative aspects of human societies are founded on evolutionary wiring, they might never be expunged. If they are culturally derived, then they can be unlearned in the space of a generation or two. So one must ask, how did we continue to evolve in the 5 million years that separate us from chimps?
See? So now they're saying that how did we evolve in 5 million years that separate us from chimps? So they give you these crazy years because they know you can't go back 5 million years. They don't know. They know. You don't know what would have been out there 5 million years ago. So now what do? Give you some crazy dates and say, yep, we was chimpanzees 5 million years ago. Hold that, but give me Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26.
Sir. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image.
Let us make what?
Let us make man in our image.
God said, let us make man. He didn't say man's a chimpanzee. He said, let us make man in our image. Meaning man is going to what? Have a mind. Man is going to know good and evil. Man is going to know certain things like what the angels know. Let's make man in our image. Man. He said, let us make man. He didn't say chimpanzees. So how are they trying to say we come from chimpanzees? Because chimpanzees wasn't made in that image, man. That's lucky. Go ahead.
After our likeness.
After our likeness. Chimpanzees is not after their likeness, man. It's lucky. Go ahead.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the seas.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the seas. The Lord gave us that ability in the beginning. Let us have dominion. Go ahead.
And over the fowl of the air.
And over the fowls of the air. Go ahead.
And over the cattle. And over all the earth.
And over all the earth, man. Which means we can't come from chimpanzees because we have dominion over them, man. The Lord gave us dominion over all these things. So how are you trying to say we came from chimpanzees? And the Bible said the Lord gave us dominion over chimpanzees and all these things. That's lucky. Take it back to the slide.
Cancer. Bipedalism. 5 million years ago, our ancestors still dwelt in African forests.
So now they're saying our ancestors dwelt in African forests because they tell you life began in Africa and blah, 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 blah. Go ahead.
Our last common ancestor with chimpanzees walked on the ground with bowed legs.
So now our common ancestor walked on the ground with bowed legs. So now they're going to get into how we evolved from bowed legs to walking bent over on all fours to now standing straight and so forth. So now they're going to get into all that. If we've got time, but let's go ahead.
Walked on the ground with bowed legs, using its arms on the ground for balance.
So now when you see those pictures, hold on, let me find the picture. Let me find the picture of evolution. Let me share my screen. So now they'll tell you that we came from this, then we started standing upright, then like that, then to human. So they will tell you this is the evolution of man. That's what they tell us. So now if you believe that you evolved from that, you're just going to live your life with no morals. That's how you're going to live your life. So they make us believe we came from that, and this is the evolution of man, according to them, which is crazy insane, man. Crazy insane what some people believe. But Lucky, go ahead.
Canada Council, using its arms on the ground for balance. It was better suited for quickly climbing trees to avoid predators. of
No,
which
them-
there were many in Africa.
No, just saying it was climbing trees to avoid predators. Listen, man, all of this stuff they tell us is nonsense. I'm trying to tell you, this whole evolution theory is nonsense. Yes, what you go ahead.
Mainly for suited for quickly climbing trees to avoid predators, of which there were many in Africa, than for covering long distances on flat ground. 4 million years ago, the climate entered one of its dry phases. The
So now,
forest,
yes, climate entered one of its dry phases. So once the land becomes dry, that's why they saying that obviously over time it wasn't all foresty, and obviously you don't need to walk on all fours, or the climate changes. So you need to use your feet more. You no longer need to use your hands for balance and so forth. So they will tell you over time. That's why we evolved. What else? Like, go ahead.
the forest shrank back, leaving woodlands and eventually the wide open savanna of East Africa.
See, so now they say we was in Africa. They say life began there, was all there, and then they say now once upon a time the forest disappeared. So then that's why we walk normal now. Because they say back then when it was forest, it was swinging from trees, swinging from branches. So that's where they get all of that swinging from branches nonsense from. So like, you go ahead.
Primates that ventured away from the forest to find food could no longer. That's it on the slide, sir.
Awesome, like, you go ahead.
Could no longer scamper up trees for safety.
That's
and they
where.
had to,
So this is where we was in Africa swinging from trees comes from. Because those people that say that to you believe in evolution, they'll be like, oh, you that was in trees, you that was swinging from trees, and then the forest disappeared, and then you had to walk properly, and then you had to operate properly. So that's where all of that nonsense to talk comes from. So like, you go ahead.
and they had to range farther and farther to find food.
So now they can't swing from trees. Now they have to walk. So that's why they say we began to walk and no longer was swinging from trees because there's no trees to swing from. And then the more walking you do to find food is why now we stand upright and walk on our feet. Because that's what they're saying. So now, what I need to do, Benjamin, take a chimpanzee out of the forest and see if it becomes human. That's what I need to do. We need to take a chimpanzee out of the forest, and we need to take a chimpanzee and see if they become human. So okay, go ahead.
So like yes, sir, you need to put him in a time travel to 15 million years.
I need to ask a chimpanzee, like, hold on, so the cousins, right? I need to see a chimpanzee and say, all right, you spend enough time with me and you should turn into me. That's what I'm gonna ask them. You spend enough time with me and you should turn into me. Listen, no matter how much time you spend with a chimpanzee, you're not gonna be a chimpanzee, man. Now you might try do what they do. You might try swing the way they swing, but it's not gonna work for you. Just don't do it from a high tree. Because you're gonna find out fast that you ain't no chimpanzee, man. You're gonna find out fast that you ain't no chimpanzee. That's lucky, go ahead.
As a result, our ancestors started to walk upright on two legs.
So now, as a result of searching for food, our ancestors stopped swinging from trees and started to walk upright on two legs. So they say that's why we walk on two legs now. Because of that, that's lucky, go ahead.
Evolving bipedalism. Some of our first bipedal ancestors, the Australopithecines, were short, standing only about a meter tall.
So now, to say our first ancestors, which is some next type of animal, was short, standing only a meter tall. So hold on. Let me see how much is 1 meter in feet. One meter in feet is 3 foot. Hold on, let me type in 1 meter in feet human. Hold on. Let me type in 1 meter human. Hold on. I'm trying to find. All right, the average person is about 6 foot. So let me put them. Let me see if we can put 2 pictures side by side. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to find one. This ain't like me. This ain't giving me a good one. Basically, the saying back then we would have been like, hold on. Basically saying back then we would have been like 1 meter. Now I'm sure 1 meter is like 3 foot. That's the size of like a toddler, man. That's like the size of like a toddler. That's what that is. So now the saying we would have been 1 foot. And then all the walking made us tall according to them. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know how to come up with that. But Slocky, go ahead.
They looked a lot like chimpanzees,
See?
only bipedal.
Imagine this. They were small and looked like chimpanzees. Sounds racist to me, but Slocky, go ahead.
They were largely herbivores with teeth adapted for grinding tough fruits, leaves, and other plants.
That's why people tell us that, oh, you lot should eat herbs only and fruit only, because we was naturally herbivores. We was naturally herbivores. So now when you look at herbivores have like flat teeth. If you look at a giraffe, herbivores, they have flat teeth. Now if you look at a lion, they got like sharp teeth, canines. We have both, which means we can eat meat and herbs if we want, man.
That's right.
That's all it is. We got herbivore teeth. We got teeth that herbivores will have, and we got teeth that canines will have, which means I can eat a chicken salad right now. That's what that means, man. Now the giraffe ain't gonna eat no chicken salad. They got no teeth like we do. Whereas people say, oh, we ain't even got teeth where we're meant to be eating meat. We got canines, man. Hold on. Bear with me 1 second. So now this is what people tell you. Our teeth ain't sharp like lions because lions teeth is like that because they're meant to eat meat, but ours ain't like that because we're not meant to eat meat. The reason our teeth ain't exactly like lions is because we have knife and forks and we cook our meat nice and soft. Now, ain't you seen what a lion has to do to these animals? A lion has to put his teeth into them animals, man. We ain't got to do all of that. We got a knife and fork. We cut up the chicken and whatnot. But the point is, we can eat meat and herbs, meaning veg and salads and whatnot. Why? Why can we do it? Because God said we can do it, man. Now, if you don't want to eat meat, that's fine. But as for me, I got some chicken at home. But it's lucky. Go ahead, Vanya, man.
Yeah, I was saying, sir, we have the molars and so on for the vegetables, and then for the meat we have the incisors.
Exactly. There you go. So we can do both, man. Now, if you're a man that tells me, oh, I should be eating veg, I'm just gonna put some veg on the side of my plate right next to the chicken. I'm gonna say, okay, no sweat, I should be eating veg, you're right, it's healthy. Put some veg right next to that chicken, veg right next to the chicken. The moral is we can eat meat and veg. So Lucky, go ahead.
Come, sir. With teeth adapted for grinding tough fruits, leaves, and other plants which humans have inherited, despite our later adoption of meat eating. They may have occasionally scavenged meat from corpse, but they weren't really equipped to consume raw meat and did
See,
not.
that ain't us. Listen, we ain't scavenging no raw meat. Listen, it's in our scriptures that we can't eat raw meat, man.
That's
I don't know
right.
what they're talking about. Now the oppressor, he eats raw meat till this day. Esau ate raw meat, man. This chimp is talking about them Edomites, man. They eat raw meat till this day. So much that when they go there, they don't want the steak cooked. They want it seared with blood all in there, man. That's what they do. That's not a black trait. We don't do that. That's lucky. Go ahead.
But they weren't really equipped to consume raw meat and did not yet have control of fire to cook it.
So now imagine this. Imagine the chimp running around with fire cooking meat. That shit just sounds crazy, man. They're trying to say, so what? We was basically chimps running around with fire cooking meat. It's insane, man. It's insane what people actually believe. That's lucky. Go ahead.
Because they were bipedal, this freed up their hands for regular use and Silakia for regular use.
So now saying that we evolved, and this is why we started to use our hands. So before that, we weren't using our hands just to swing from trees, but now there's no more trees and we're in forest, and we want to cook meat, and we was eating herbs and whatnot, and now we started to eat meat. Now we needed to use our hands to make fire to cook the meat on. This is their theory. Go ahead.
Regular use of an even wider range of gestures, widening their range of language. Most communication happened by gestures and facial expressions rather than vocally via grunts and yelps.
So now they're saying this is how we communicate in the early days, by gestures and facial expressions. So they would say now we pull facial expressions because our ancestors, which was chimps and who we evolved from, they used to pull facial expressions because they can't talk. So now they say sometimes we don't talk and we pull facial expressions at each other. So that's what they will come up with. Go ahead.
Even today, many anthropologists and psychologists assert that the vast majority of human communication still happens.
So they're saying we still communicate that way, and up above it said they would express via grunts and yelps. And when you do some history, that's how the oppressor was behaving in the caves. He wouldn't talk; he would grunt. They would grunt and so forth. So a lot of this history that they talk about is really them and not us, because they would grunt. Listen, man, we've always communicated with languages and whatnot. These that would grunt because they couldn't talk. They was in them caves to fake gestures, facial expressions, and smack you over the head with a club. So much that now, what did they do now? Play baseball, all of those things, man. Back then in the caves, their baseball bat was a club. So what did they do till this day? Play baseball, which is basically a club. They still use things that they was using back then. So Lucky, go ahead. So this is how we used to look, apparently. This is how we used to look. So we used to be hairy and whatnot. And the thing is this, we've always been a smooth people. Esau's been hairy, man. They're talking about themselves when they're saying we used to look like this. This is probably a picture of Esau, man. Right there. That's probably how Esau looked. They're trying to say, yeah, we all look like that, and then we started shedding our hair and blah 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 blah. That's not what happened, man. That's like Esau looks. That's what. Go ahead.
Via subtle gestures communicating sophisticated emotions and mental states, rather than by words. Free hands also allowed them to carry tools and transport them from place to place.
So now, in this evolution, you would have seen chimpanzees carrying tools and transporting them from place to place. This one, man, these are going crazy with these evolution theories. Lucky, go ahead.
Enhanced language and more regular use of tools put evolutionary pressure on them to increase their brain capacity to keep up.
So now, they had to increase their brain to keep up. So now they said, all right, then they started carrying tools around, and then they evolved and started using more languages, and that's how we began to speak according to them. So now, like I said, I should see chimpanzees evolve right now. That's what I should see. I should see chimpanzees evolve right now. And if evolution is real, there should be no chimpanzees left. If evolution is real, like they say, there should be none of these chimpanzees left. Because why? They should have all evolved into humans. Or what? Soon is there going to be none left and they're all going to evolve into humans. This is what they say about animals that are extinct. They say a lot of the animals are extinct, not because they died, because they evolved into other things. This is what they were telling you. So now, when a chimpanzee is going to be extinct, and guess what? If chimpanzees were extinct tomorrow, they're going to lie. And guess what they're going to say to you? Chimpanzees ain't extinct because they died. Chimpanzees are extinct because they evolved into humans. That's the lie they're going to tell you, man. Listen, they be running game on us telling these silly little lies. Lucky boy.
By 2.5 million years ago, Homo habilis evolved.
Listen, you know how I know we didn't come from these things? Because I ain't homo nothing, man. Get that? Listen, I ain't homo nothing. Homo habilis, homo sapien. Listen, I ain't homo nothing, man. I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. That's what I am.
That's
I ain't homo. Listen, I ain't homo habilis. I ain't homo sapien. I ain't homosexual. I ain't homo nothing, man. Oh, what these are talking about, man? So lucky, go ahead.
Homo habilis evolved. Homo habilis did not stand much taller than Australopithecines.
So that's the ones from before. So now they're saying the Australopithecines have evolved into the Homo habilis, and then after you see the Homo habilis evolved into Homo equus or something along them lines, then that one evolved into the Homo sapien, and then you have humans. So over time they'll tell you that. Listen, I wonder what we're gonna evolve in. How come we're not still evolving then? That's what I want to know. If we've evolved so much times, when is our next evolution? That's what I want to know. I want to know what's the next level of evolution that we're gonna have. Like, is our legs gonna turn into wheels? Is our arms gonna turn into wings where we can fly? Like, what is the next level of evolution? I mean, are we going to be able to breathe underwater? You know, there's some people that believe there's a whole land underwater. What do they call it now? Where is it now? It's called there's a whole island underwater, and they believe people live there.
Atlantica, sir.
Say that again.
Atlantica.
Is that the one? It sounds like it, but I think it's called something else.
Slovakia, Atlantis.
Atlantis, that's the one. They believe there's an underground city, and those people have evolved over time, and they live underwater in a place called Atlantis. Listen, man, that's a lie, man. Ain't no city underground where people live. Now, what is underground is Port Royal, man, and there's nobody that lives there.
That's right.
Underground from floods and the hurricanes and so forth, but nobody lives there. Don't let them lie to you, man. Soon they're going to tell you that the people of the Titanic evolved and they're living under the ocean. Listen, that's not happening, man. That's lucky. Go ahead.
And their brains were slightly bigger, but there seemed to have been an increase in intelligence and inventiveness. Homo habilis were known to have hit flakes of stones to use them for cutting. And making stone flakes is difficult. Human archaeologists have tried to reenact this activity, and it is tricky, requiring a lot of trial and error. It requires some pretty beefy intellect, intentionality, and the patience of a craftsperson, but there were limits. As important as a breakthrough as stoneworking was, we see very, very little sign of technological improvement over the million years that Homo habilis existed. We see invention, but we don't see the accumulation of invention generation after generation to make those cutting implements better or more diversified. As for the social complexity of Homo habilis, it is arguably similar to that of uh, Australopithecines or chimpanzees. Their groups remain quite small, but 2 million years ago, population growth caused Homo habilis group to run into other groups more frequently. This put pressure on the brain to manage more frequently, to manage more frequent and complex social interaction, including alliance building, and so that violence would not break out every time groups met. Strategies included gift giving and intergroup marriage. The latter was particularly effective since it prompted two groups to have an interest in the continuation of a combined line of DNA. It is around 2 million years ago that evolutionary anthropologists estimate that monogamy, long held by New World monkeys, began to evolve in our own family tree in Africa.
The lion, man. Listen, monogamy only started to happen in Africa because the oppressor brought his religion there, man. He brought Christianity there and brought his way of living. You can go to Africa now, there's men in the bush that don't know nothing about monogamy, and they just know what they're naturally born with, and they naturally know they can have more than one woman. Now they're trying to say that monogamy was in Africa 2 million years ago. That is a lie. Everybody can do some research and you realize monogamy only came about because the oppressor went there. Before that, it wasn't a thing.
Cancer. In addition to polygamy and promiscuity, is testament to two strands of evolutionary wiring being in conflict with each other. Another way primates bonded with each other and formed alliances was by grooming, picking the bugs and dirt out of someone's hair.
And now, animals do that, and you'll find when the oppressor was in the caves, that's what he was doing. So he's talking about himself. He ain't talking about us. We don't do that. That's what they was doing when they was in them caves. So okay, go ahead.
We see this in our last common ancestors with old world monkeys going back 40 million years.
See, and now they're trying to say, put it this way, everything that this devil does, he tries to justify, oh, well, our ancient ancestors done that, so we all done it. Our ancient ancestors done that, so we all done it. That's a lie, man. Us as black people ain't never done that. We ain't ever picked insects out of people's hair and ate it. We ain't never picked dandruff out of someone's hair and ate it. We don't do that, man. Us as black people are clean. We don't do them things. So, Lucky, go ahead.
Cancer. But as group numbers grew, we couldn't groom everyone.
So now they're trying to say they cleaned each other. Go ahead.
There wasn't enough time in the day, so we began to gossip or small talk.
So now they're trying to say that's how we evolved into gossiping and small talking from grooming. Go ahead.
So like I said, so the monkeys would say that other monkey has too much bugs in his hair.
Exactly. The other monkey would say to the other one, oh, we can't clean all of them. And that's how they learn how to talk according to evolution. Some nonsense. So they're saying to see certain things and over time, we'll learn to talk and do what evolves nonsense. But it's lucky. Go ahead.
Homo habilis still had a very restrictive range of sounds to form speech.
So now this is before they spoke. They said they had restricted range of sounds to form speech. So they're saying in the beginning we couldn't speak, we didn't speak. And we just used to grunt and make sounds. And over time, them sounds became, languages. So they'll tell you this is where you can speak now. So they're saying once upon a time, we couldn't speak. So they will tell you, like, you see how a baby can't speak when the baby's first born. They will tell you that obviously we was like that, making sounds and blah, 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 blah. That's not good.
But gesture allowed some communication, added to which they used pleasing sounds such as hums, grunts, and yells to convey displeasure.
And the oppressor yells and grunts we speak, man. He yells and grunts to display displeasure. Go ahead.
There was an evolutionary advantage to socializing, putting selective pressure on these communication abilities to grow.
Oh, no, I'll come back to it next week. So now, they said putting pressure on these community abilities to grow. So now, they went from grunting, until they say they started to get certain words out. And that's how you get your languages and all of those kind of things. They'll tell you that's how you get your languages and all of those kind of things. But we didn't even get halfway through. But next week we're going to go into, we're going to continue. Hopefully next week we can get in depth into the Great Migration, and then the Neanderthals versus the Homo sapiens, and how they claim to mix together, and how they say that all of us have got 2%, 1 to 2% Neanderthal blood in us. All of this nonsense. Hopefully we can get to that next week. All right. With that, Benjamin Salaki, you can call it. We're up on the time clock. We'll be here again tomorrow. We'll be here again 7 p.m. till 9. We're gonna continue this class next week. Hopefully, I can finish it up next week. That way, a lot of the history classes we don't get to finish. We get close to the end, but then we have to switch gears so we don't keep going over the same thing. But I'm gonna try to finish this one. Just bear with me. But as lucky, go ahead, Benjamin. You can call it.
Canada one concern. Men of Israel, Imajam Shabbat, Imajam Barak, Yahweh Bashem Yashar Barakatha,
Yahweh Bashem Yashar Barakatha,
Yajamata, class dismissed.
So again, Israel, all right, Israel will be here tomorrow. Shalom. Hey, shalom.
Shalom, sir.